What's the first thing that you think about when you hear Colombia?
I first thought of my friend from high school because she's Colombian.
I just wanted to ask you, do you know anything about Colombia?
No.
I don't really have much experience with Colombia. Weather's probably pretty nice down there.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Oh, wow. Well, it's lush, but it is a third world.
I am familiar with the country. I've heard they've been, having some issues like drug cartel, Colombia. That's pretty much what you know from the history of the area. So.
Let me ask you something. What comes to your minds when you think about Colombia? Maybe a man that was notorious for his terrorism and drug trafficking operations, or for his strategic positioning in Colombia's politics. His business ranking him the 7th richest man alive at that time. He was operating right here out of Colombia's second biggest city, coined the name the murder capital of the world.
This city is the headquarters of what American authorities have now identified as the Medellin cartel, a small group of men that in the last few years has formed a near monopoly on the processing and sale of cocaine.
As NBC's Brian Ross reports tonight, this cocaine cartel in many ways is as sophisticated as a Fortune 500 company.
Are there places where they're more powerful than the government?
Unfortunately, I think that may be true.
Pablo Escobar, narcos, carteles, sicarios, guerrilla, actually were present in that territory. I know that some years ago, no one went to enter to this place, especially in my neighborhood. The most dangerous place in that time. Thanks to the transformation, innovation, projects, the art, the hip-hop culture, everything changed. So for that reason, to be honest, I don't know, my idea or my purpose is I try to change that perception, and actually I enjoy doing this.
This is Sebastian Soler, a native to Medellin. More specifically, Comuna 13. Not just one of the 16 comunas that divide the city, but the most dangerous comuna of them all. This neighborhood has one of the best connections to Colombia's main highway, providing an easy route for Pablo's business, in and out of the city.
There is in another comuna in Colombia, this guy gave more than 400 houses. This guy creates soccer fields, education, neighborhoods. For that reason, actually, a lot of people love it. But to be honest, in my opinion, I hate him a lot. I think it's a bad reputation for me, for Medellin, for Colombia. A lot of innocent people die and a lot of people disappear.
Multiple countries, including the United States, put pressure on Colombian officials to find a quick solution to Pablo's grip on Comuna 13. So they hatched a plan. They raided houses and opened fire from helicopters above. Caught in the conflict were not just Pablo's people, but the innocent people of Medellin. Innocent men, women, and children.
Good evening. The king is dead. Pablo Escobar, the Colombian drug king, who was for years one of the world's most wanted men, was gunned down today by Colombian police in the Colombian city of Medellin.
Colombia's prosecutor general called Escobar's killing excellent for the country. U.S. drug agents said it also was good for the United States.
The problem is that people believe that when Pablo Escobar died, the narco-traffic is going to end. But actually, the narco-traffic doesn't depend on one person, one couple, one dealer. So imagine, so it's a huge problem.
In Colombia, South America, when Juan Valdez plants a coffee tree, he works on it for 5 years before it grows its first bean. And even when the tree is mature, he must still work every day just to get the single pound of coffee each tree produces in a whole year. There are easier ways to grow coffee, but Juan is not growing the easiest coffee in the world. He's growing the richest.
A lot of years ago, if you go to some farms, the only things they could produce was the coca leaf or the marijuana. The government saw the importance of the coffee, and they start to incentivize some farmers, and they start to produce coffee. And we saw coffee like a main export product.
100% Colombian coffee, the richest coffee in the world.
Look, we have the best coffee, one of the best farmers, the best quality, one of the best flavor, abundance of lands, perfect for produce coffee you can find here. Now we compete with the big countries also. So this idea changed that perception. We need to talk about this guy. We need to talk about what happened a lot of years ago. But of course happening right now because now it's part of this big transformation.
Sebastian made it sound like Colombia's changed a lot ever since it was the last time in the headlines. From coca to coffee bean. It reminded me a lot of the first word I learned to say after mom and dad, which was Starbucks.
Is it a cappuccino or is it a babychino or is it a zaidichino? Zaidichino.
This was actually a cup I stole as a 2-year-old from everyone's go-to coffee chain.
Tim, how many times have we been to Starbucks during the last 9 days?
I am learning from the master the secret techniques.
So to say that my dad and I have an interest in coffee would be an understatement. This little cranky guy is my brother. He currently lives in Colombia and invited us to come visit. Without hesitation, we all agreed to go. Except for my dad. He wanted to stay in good old Florida, where he could kick up his feet and relax on the beach. He probably also had important things to do, so no amount of negotiations would sway him to come with us. So I made it my mission to find him the best coffee in the world and bring it back for him to do the ultimate taste testing. This is how it went.
Let's go.
Hey! The trunk is not properly closed, but it doesn't pull out. What I was really surprised by is until about 5 days ago, they only advertised the iPhone 11. That's the highest iPhone that they have here. And you see how much traffic there is? This is half of Bogota because every single day, only half of the cars are allowed to drive. You already know, did I tell you? You have to put the toilet paper into the trash can. It's okay if you mistakenly do it once, but like, don't do it all the time. Yes, this is our it's called Conjunto Monte Carlo.
This is so cool.
This is a room that almost every single Colombian house has. It's like a garden, like greenhouse room. And so this is where they have like plants and like gardening stuff. Actually, Lina made you guys cupcakes.
Nice. Very good.
Look how lovely. Mangoes and cupcakes and snacks and water. Nice welcome.
This is my room. Welcome to my room.
This is my first gift for the orphanage, for the kitties. Try to look like you're really excited about this, okay? A daily. And Jace, this is for you to help you with the months that you're going to.
Oh no.
This is a daily calendar with all kinds of fantastic, interesting facts.
Thank you, Mom. I appreciate it. Everybody's looking at us.
Of course.
Tourist time. This is Bogota, the capital of Colombia. We're stopping here on our way to Medellin to pick up my brother. We knew we wouldn't find coffee fields downtown, but we still wanted to see if we could get at least a little taste of that good stuff.
Yeah, but we paid $2.50 for both of our coffees right here. We just wanted to tribute you to not coming. Colombian coffee review from a supermarket.
I don't like espresso anyways.
Oh my gosh, it is so meh. I'm no snob, but it was just like any other grocery store coffee. But why Colombia? Why would you serve me bad coffee when you're known for the best beans on this planet?
Epic Gamer moment.
Remember this for later. But first, dinner. My mom just told me that this place was one of Bogota's biggest and most well-known party restaurants. What started out as just a humble roadside grill spot about 40 years ago is now this huge glowing restaurant club mix.
Awesome!
I've never seen anything like this before.
Look at this. Wow. Coconut lemonade.
That's the best one I've tried so far.
I only want to drink this the rest of the vacation.
I told you. I don't even like coconut and I like it.
This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
That is nuts. Wow. Look at it sizzle. Isn't this the craziest meat you've ever seen in your life?
I'm overwhelmed right now.
Wow.
Wait, what's this place called again?
Andres Carne de Res.
Thank you, Andres Carne de Res.
You're welcome. I am Andres.
The dinner was nice, but we weren't in Colombia just for fun.
Okay, new day, new me.
We needed to get back on track to finding out where we could find the world's best coffee. After doing some research, we found out that some of the highest quality coffee grows on mountainsides at high elevations. So we took it upon ourselves to just start finding big things to climb. Like this bad boy right here.
694 steps from now on.
Think you can make it, Mom?
The first few steps already steep. They are pretty steep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
Standing at just under 700 foot tall.
Are we almost there?
This thing looks like it's gonna double as my gravestone after seeing those stairs.
525. Good job, Mom.
It's getting thinner. We're at almost 6,600 feet above sea level.
A few more stairs left. 675.
So we finally get to the top to find nothing.
No coffee.
Frank, where's the coffee?
Hola.
Where are you guys at?
In paradise, baby.
Oh, nice.
Jays, come over here.
Oh, nice.
They're from alpaca wool.
I just wondered if you eat those in Florida.
Of course.
Yeah, we wanted
See you later. Yeah. See ya.
At this point, we realized that we probably wouldn't be able to find the coffee fields ourselves. The commercials had you believing that in Colombia, people are buying coffee by the sack on the street.
It is here that they trade. It is here that they buy their coffee.
But just like many other commercials, the reality is much different.
There's a wishing well right here.
US dollars, straight up.
Rapper. I'm gonna make a wish, and it's gonna be that we find the best coffee in the world.
I don't think it's gonna come true.
Way to be so cynical.
I don't believe.
There you go.
Instead of trying to find these farms ourselves,
Let's like give up here right now.
we thought that we would team up with a local that would know where to go.
Oh, my legs no like a Colombia.
Only one person came to mind.
We made it, guys. Let's go.
Here we are at the fam. Good to go. Adventure continue.
Now tell me, does he look familiar?
Now we are not the most dangerous place in the world.
My friend from Comuna 13 invited us to tour his neighborhood with him. He wanted to show us what it was like to walk the streets of Comuna 13 after Escobar, after 20 years of change.
Acá en Medellín todo era combo de milicias.
Colombia's second largest city has a new honor. Michelle Begay reports on how the city went from one of the most dangerous in the world to one of the most innovative.
In 2013, Medellin won the most innovative city in the world. Actually, we compete with countries like New York, Tel Aviv, Delhi. In Medellin, in Colombia, we have a lot of things to offer.
And Medellin's public transportation has made it stand out, not just with the metro and bus system, but also using urban escalators.
A lot of people, when, for example, the government start to explain the project at the escalators, all the people start to say, escalate, why escalate? You can find escalators in a shopping center, the department store, in an airport, but why here? But to be honest, everything changed thanks to that project. Imagine, before the project, there weren't stairs, there were like sand, wood, trees. Now, thanks to this project, we can go there to the top. People on top now can work, commute, move. They create like a corridor that favor the meeting between citizens, the possibility to move, to go to different places. Here, like a simple project, but to be honest, is very important for a lot of people in Comuna 13 because again, you can find scholars in other parts, but especially the meaning of the project, of the meaning of the transformed lives is, or the accessibility is special. Now it's very important, not just for the Comuna 13, but also for Medellin and Colombia.
Actually, look, guys. Is the balls over there?
Oh, yeah.
What used to be covered in bullet holes is now covered in murals. They also had this cool blacklight museum. Even though I wanted to stay, we needed to go, because tomorrow was the last day we had before having to head back to the US. Sebastian pointed us to an address in a small, remote town, about 100 miles outside of the city. He said that we would find the world's best coffee there.
Wheels on the bus go around.
But it felt more like he was trying to send us to the most remote place in all of Colombia to hopefully never hear from us again. How bad could it be, right? 5 hours later, we finally get to the small town in the middle of nowhere.
My problem is I can't see anything.
Exhausted, hungry, and with no cell service, it took us a while to find the place that we were staying at.
Good timing, I think it's gonna start raining.
This is where we're staying.
What's it gonna be like? Uh-oh. Let's get underneath.
Uh-oh. Thanks. Oh, look at this crazy view.
Welcome to my crib. I tell you what, I paid a lot for this, and it was worth it, I think, because the house is ginormous.
How many stories is this?
We picked our rooms.
Welcome to my humble abode.
I, of course, got the coolest one on the very top, with the best view. Even though it was raining, we had nothing to eat, so we did a late night run for some food.
Look at all the tuk-tuks go. That's so cool.
We found this little restaurant that sold pizzas attached to the side of a church. After that, we slept, to have as much energy as possible for our biggest and most important day of the whole trip.
That's so crazy.
At over a mile above sea level, high up in the Colombian mountains, you'll find this small 150-year-old town called Jardín. This place felt like the warmth in your stomach after you drank your favorite hot drink. Coffee. Yeah! Of course, the team, consisting of my brother, mom, and me, decided to plan something for today without including me in the conversation. I'm suspecting they might have found something.
It looked as natural as possible.
But today is the last day. If we don't find the world's best coffee now, the whole story wouldn't work. My brother just told me to shut up and enjoy the Jeep ride.
Welcome to Mariposa Farm. Do you know what is mariposa? Butterfly.
Somehow, the worlds aligned, and my brother was able to get in contact with a special family who owned a farm right outside of Jardín. They invited us to be a part of every step in the process of making the world's best coffee.
The whole family's here.
Do you remember when I mentioned that the coffee that we found at the beginning was so mediocre? Well, I was thinking about that when we met Daniel, a fourth-generation coffee bean farmer who works at this plantation, and who's definitely the right person to ask why Colombians drink bad coffee.
This is the logo of the Colombian Federation Coffee. Have you ever seen him? Juan Valdez, have you heard about him?
Juan Valdez.
Juan Valdez.
The richest coffee in the world.
And all the commercials, yeah.
Yes, Juan Valdez is from here, from Jardín.
Oh, really?
It represents all Colombian coffee growers all around the world. The Federation exports and buys all the coffee. 90% is exported like that in green coffee. The other 10% are the low quality coffees like Nespresso, Nescafe, and those instant coffees are the ones that we drink in Colombia. So we just buy the instant one and we export the best one. We export the best.
Ah, that makes sense now. Colombians just aren't big coffee drinkers. Who would have known? But what about other countries? Is Colombia really the number one in everything coffee related?
Colombia is number one in quality all over the world. And the third one in quantity. The first one, Brazil and Vietnam, and the ones that produces lots of coffee. But the processes are very industrialized. They don't do it by hand. They put chemistries on it.
Does that mean that every single bean in Colombia is the same? What's the difference? What makes yours the best in the world?
We plant coffee at 1,400 meters of altitude to 2,000 that are called altitude coffee. We plant it like that because coffee likes the rain and because the sun gets more in that part. So the coffee develops more richness. That's why the coffee in this area is more quality one. In Jardín, 400 families produces coffee, but just 40 produce roasted coffee. Every coffee from that 40 families is un excelente café because they control all the process from the tree to this part. Colombia coffee is good, but the federation buys every coffee around and they mix it. And federation gets like 6 months to export a coffee and they get ready in 6 weeks. That is the finished product. You sell it like this has a price, but if you sell it like this, you have your own brand.
Entonces tenemos que el café es una esponja y nos absorbe.
It absorbs everything around it. It absorbs all the good things, but it can also absorb the bad things.
Entonces en los pueblos pequeños productores de café,
in these small farms, we had a lot of flowers, fruits,
más frutas.
So that makes the notes of the coffee. No, not flavors, like notes. They love bananas because bananas you just plant it once and they start growing itself. It's the same as coffee. You plant it and in 18 months you have your banana.
Damn.
Even though you're not a coffee guy, it does make you want to try some good coffee here.
Yeah. I'm wondering if I try the I think we're gonna try.
Oh, I hope so.
I wonder if I gotta like it.
Yeah, maybe.
Entonces ellos cogen la
we have a big harvest on October, November, but almost all year you can find red beans. So he has to visit every plant every 20 days to get the red beans.
También tenemos una semilla de café.
That's baby coffee.
Es
not a good seed because they need to have a very long root,
¿sí? Y estar muy lleno
straight, and a lot of hairs. They are very picky about what they plant because you can't tell this is a bad seed. It looks normally. But if you spend like 2 years to fully develop and grow and start getting bad coffee, you lose all your time and your money. They have special people who plant seeds, like nurseries. They first plant it in sand and then they buy it and plant it.
Entonces tenemos, las ramas tienen unos nudos,
the branches has a knot, has knots. Yeah. They grow in the new branches and on the top.
Este árbol en un par de años,
in a few years, this tree won't have any coffee in the bottom. Have you tried like this?
Entonces no lo vamos a morder ni a tragar.
Don't bite it too hard and don't swallow, but taste the flavor.
Solo a chupar.
Oh, yeah.
Taste it. It is coffee, but it tastes like berry. And look, inside you find the almond.
Ya hablamos mucho, ahora a trabajar.
We talk a lot, now we're gonna work. A little twist,
giro.
Just the red ones.
Dang, you're so quick.
We have to be that fast. You have to pick at least 27 grains. That's what makes a cup of coffee.
And you drink a lot of coffee, Zaid, so you gotta drink. You gotta do more.
Try to have fun. Can we do a race?
So we're looking for these red ones right here. These ones are the good ones. You got the freaking gold mine. So we gotta get at least 27 of them to make a cup of coffee. Mom's in the thick of it down there.
See, they're getting too high for me.
Although definitely not as fast as Daniel, showing off his skills from earlier.
Oh yes, thank you.
We all gathered around about a half a bag each and headed to the next step in our coffee production.
Este es el café de la chica.
This is your coffee, please. Be my guest. Work on it. Work it, girl. Go there.
You gotta work it. Okay.
This is what a depulping machine looks like. It takes the coffee berries and separates the skin from the seeds inside.
Ese es arando, se llama una zaranda. Nos
This is
ayuda.
a saranda. It's like centrifugates it a little. This process is almost mandatory the day you pick it.
The biceps.
That coffee is slimery, slippery. It has like this coat, this lime coat around it.
Yes.
And if you put water on it, it won't come off. It won't wash.
Este es de ayer
Look, this is from yesterday.
y ya se
It's
siente
starting
diferente.
to take that coat
Sí,
off.
con un poquito de agua.
And with a little water, he's gonna show you how it separates. The good one stays in the bottom, and the not that ones float.
De malo.
This is good coffee. Look.
¿Sí?
Beautiful
Yeah,
coffee,
that's-
all the beans are
Ya no
baked,
huele.
it doesn't smell.
Yeah.
That's for the federation, for the good coffee. That's clean coffee. Now you just have to roast it and you have your coffee. Look, almost all the grains are the same, are big, are green.
Y esta pasilla.
This is called pasilla because there are grains that have no almonds inside.
Y hay granos malos.
There are bad grains,
Different sizes.
sizes. It's not that high quality one, but it still makes coffee. Everything counts.
Vamos al secado.
Let's go to see how they dry it here. They open the roof. Look, with the little wheels.
So smart.
So when it rains, they put it back on, and when it's sun, they open it to get sun. Yeah, come on.
Este café lo puse aquí esta
He
mañana.
put it this morning. He put it here, so look how it's wet. You have to mix it. You need to get them even. They taste it and they penalize everything.
After this, the beans are roasted. To what degree is completely unique from brand to brand.
Makes me really not want to go back to the US.
White cheese.
That's so good. I gotta get another one.
Yes, take them. The guard dog.
They made us a fresh pot of coffee from today's roast.
I really like this coffee because you can taste like the notes and you don't need to put anything on it.
Did you see the orange trees around and the lemon trees? Yeah. That's where the citrus comes, yeah.
That's so cool.
After such a long search, we finally get to try it. The best of the best. Sitting right next to the farm we just picked it from. A coffee fanatic's dream.
The town that was closest.
After we calculated how many bags we could take with us, we asked the artist himself if he could sign all 8 of them.
See?
Yo nunca he firmado una bolsa de esta.
No? Okay. First one. Y eres man izquierdo.
Ah.
Oh, zurdo. Mal oído.
También es
First
zurda.
time. First time. 21. ¡Epa!
Nice.
Así es. Mire qué
No es
chévere.
That was awesome.
By the artist.
Ay.
Bye, Jace.
That's what I love. I just love something that I would never be able to
Would never be able to get it. So, anyways, let me. So this is the Colombian coffee.
Yeah, it's so
that I
cool.
got.
But that's instant coffee, isn't it? So you're making a joke here now because it says great value. You probably bought it in America, didn't you? You're just trying to pull my legs. Hey, that's not nice. And you felt it.
No. Here you go.
That's
and it's even signed by the farmer.
Is it? Yeah. You remember when you were little, Dave? You would open up and we would go.
Ah, yeah.
try it out.
You need to tell us.
Should I open it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, open it up. Oh, yeah, no, that's good.
Is this a fish? Or what?
To be honest, we can say that the real transformation, in my opinion, is thanks to the people. Because, for example, you can find escalators or cable cars in other cities, but the people actually is the real transformation. The people is the magic of this tour or Comuna 13 of Medellin. You know, the people dancing or painting or singing. People is happy. People is, we can say that is the main, the most important thing here.
Nice. So this is the first time trying it. What do you think?
Here's Zaid's strategy. Oh wait, I'm filming myself.
Is my Be Real gonna go off? My bank account is down to less than 3 figures.
He's all decked out.
Medellin, parceros, Medellin es una chimba. Medellin is the best. Colombia is the best, my friend.